Welcome back, our dear viewers. As we have promised at the beginning of the show, we are going to talk today about the sustainable development and how it is related to the green culture. What's the relation here between both fields and how we could do a good sustainable development in order to boost our economy and boost the sustainability of many projects and many ideas. To shed more light about that topic, we are very much delighted to have in the studio Dr. Ahmed Rashed. He's a professor of architectural engineering department, faculty of engineering, and director of the Center of Sustainability and Future Studies. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Rashed. Now, before you went on air, you were trying to understand, me and Maisi, exactly what we need to talk about. What is green heritage?
Yes.
How it is connected to sustainable development, because this seems to be a new sphere or a new
relatively a new
discipline,
concept.
even when it comes to studying, since you are a university professor. So we need to further understand it. Now, could you simply explain to us in the beginning what is meant by green heritage?
Actually, we have already this era of green, and we have what we so-called green communities, and within the green communities we have green buildings, green energy, green jobs. And for Egypt, especially with whatever we have all this, and we keep saying that we have 1/3 of the heritage of the world. We need to think about what we try to have a relatively new concept, what concern green heritage. Green heritage, when we are talking about sustainable development, we used to say that sustainable development is kind of a mixture between environmental issue, economical, and then if we are going to talk about industry, is going to be an industrial support within the three. If we are going to talk about urban planning, it will be urban planning. For heritage, is going to be the heritage domain. We try now to think within a conference. We are going to prepare. It's going to be by October 2017. To have this kind, how to adapt it in the environment to accept our work for the sustainable development related to the heritage. We used to have, if we are going to have a heritage site, the ordinary way, that we are going to choose a site and we try to rehabilitate the site or adaptive reuse or doing many of the actions within the inside heritage or archaeological remain. But the problem that all the problems for such place is related to built environment, the quality of life of the heritage itself. So what we are trying to do that how to adapt the environment to accept whatever we would like to do in ongoing phases. So it's going to be a kind of mixture between heritage studies, urban planning studies, tourism studies, social reality with the physical reality.
This needs a lot of coordination and collaboration among so many bodies and agencies and authorities and organizations.
Okay, actually when the world started to say that we would like to have this kind of sustainability, and last year we have two things, you know, very main, the United Nations Summit, and then what related to that within Paris, the climate change. And we have in Egypt, we already say that we have the strategy 2030 for sustainable development. So there are many issues. There is a way of life, a different way of life. It's a culture setting. If you would like to have a new approach, we are not going to use the similar, ongoing ways of doing things already inherited from 5,000 years. So if you would like to think in a different way, I used to say that from reality, we need to have this kind of virtuality to a new reality. And this could be done by using the scientific research, using the graduation projects within the universities, started to have conferences, to have the kind of dialogue and the support of the media. So today we have been this one of the stages to start understanding what we meant by green heritage. This would be one stage, but it is going to be followed by many other stages to change the minds like if you'd like to have a new computer, laptop, so we'd like to have the new programs, and we'd like to have a new sitting by programs to overcome. We are going to format it first, and then for the viruses which we already have in many different difficulties. So we used to say that to start by the people, or by the heritage itself, or internationally we're going. So this kind of mixture. For all of that, we are going to say that green heritage, we're going to look after different aspects. As you just mentioned, it's one single way. It's a way of life.
Dr. Ahmed, do you believe to what extent that could be doable on the ground? How that could be a reality? That we could be.
I mean, if we're talking about the implementation here, I mean, the
theory
seems very nice, but the implementation seems difficult.
Okay, this is not only difficult. We need to have different scenarios because we have different types of heritage. It's going to talk about Rashid, it's going to be different than Qusayr. If we're going to talk about Darb al-Ahmar, it's going to be different than we're talking about Nazat al-Samman. So every place will need this kind of implementing suitable and actions. So, but from the beginning, it needs this kind of attention. We're going to say. One of the things that what we'll try from now, it is going to be for an institution like the British University, is going to be a graduation project. So from today, the students which are going to have by next June their defense, they are going to start to visit places and to choose sites. And when we're choosing the sites, we're going to have different approaches according to each site. What is the most difficult issues and what is the very positive issues to start with. It is kind of compatibility. It could, because in many other places they have this kind of sitting. It was used to say that it's kind of public participation for a heritage sites or sustaining heritage in other places. Like if I'm going to talk about Europe or like Morocco or other places, they sit and decide that this is our heritage which we inherited and we're going to leave it for the coming generations, and what we can do and what is going to be an obstacle not to be done. Okay? So, and this could be within, I'm used to say that what is the benefit of scientific research and how we could have ideas. Nowadays, I've been with the Scientific Academy, and we would like to have kind of summer schools and winter schools for one of the sites, which is Luxor. Why Luxor? Because Luxor is a microcosm of Egypt. It's very wealth with heritage and resources, but more in the overall situation for the people and the environment. Luxor is well known by all the world. And we could have this kind of competition of ideas to enhance the quality of life for Luxor. And we said that it's going to be a competition under the title of civilization, from civilization to civilization. So this is one of the tools that we could use from the Luxor people, from the national, from all the Egyptian, and from the international students or ideas from Europe or from America, to say that we're going to talk about the infrastructure of Luxor. We're going to talk about education for Luxor. We're going to talk about the health services in Luxor. So it's going to be many scenarios with many ideas, how to have something different, to be sustainable.
But in that case, Dr. Rashed, I believe that the students would have to contact many agencies. For example, if I'm a student trying to graduate and use this project for my graduation, I need to tackle the challenges facing the implementation of the projects. I mean, I shouldn't just present theories that are not doable. And in that case, do I have to contact, as you mentioned, students abroad and see in their countries how's the situation going? Do I need to contact the UNICEF, for example, the UNESCO, I'm sorry? Do I need to contact governmental agencies? Do I need to contact NGOs who are in contact with the population or the residents of certain area?
This is exactly the situation.
But how can you manage that? Because they are different entities which they might not be related to each other to a great extent. So how can we reach that?
But again, when we said that it's going to be a kind of graduation project, it's going to be within the level of 1 year teaching and studies and then study visit, and many of these things is going to be only for 1 year, but at least we have a scenarios for a site with different ideas. We already started something like that March in Italy, in Sicily, okay, in one of the cities and it was very powerful, and our Egyptian students participated in such, and it's from all different universities, from Ain Shams, from Alexandria, and with Professor Mahmoud Sa'r from the Scientific Academy, and we found that within 1 week they understood all the difficulties, and they try to have something different with the sharing of the community to create a different view for a place by the people and supported by the people, okay? And it's going to be run after that by the people themselves. So you could do something within a summer school, it could be a graduation project, it could be for a higher level, it could be international conference for all the international agencies which are related to culture. So it have this kind of different, but now we are going to be aware that we have a problem and we have to tackle the problem in a different way. We used to have it in the ordinary way that we are going to say that we are going to have a project to develop Darb al-Ahmar. Then to work inside. But again, what is the problems for Darb al-Ahmar? It's not only inside, because you have to think about the boundaries which are surrounding it and to try to adapt it. For the students, like for architecture, when I'm doing to say that, probably for one of the sites, if you're going to design an airport, it's going to support a scientific, okay, in a scientific way, is going to support an area. So the green heritage is something which already have been done within many of the other places, that they are going to sit together and think in a different way for the future of something which already have accumulated problems. But the way to tackle it is already, we end it with something very close, you know, very tough to be managed. And in the end, everybody is loser. So if we believe for our heritage that depopulating the areas, that means that we have to think about a new areas to evacuate it from the, so it's a different solution according to each case. This is the way which
I'm curious to know what the content of this book with you, Dr. Rashed, because the cover seems interesting as well.
Okay, as you see the cover, we're going to see one of the things
we have the pyramid, and we see the pyramids.
This was just, we finished a conference which under the title of Sustainable Mega Projects, Chance, Change, Challenge. It was for this year, because Egypt is following that we would like to have many mega projects like Suez Canal.
Yes, and you have the new Suez Canal here. You have the 3 pyramids, and the pyramid in the middle is different, as you have kind of.
Yeah, this is the Louvre one, pyramid. And we said that we could have technology with the heritage combined together to have something.
And why did you include also the windmills?
Because this is the green energy. So it's, if you would like to think for a green, you have a different things to think about it. But this is how we are living in the 5% of the valley, and we'd like to be outside. But again, we have to think for the valley itself. There is a lot of so in the end of this conference, we're going to have the one which I'm talking about, which is green heritage. And again, it's chance, change, challenge. And we said that it's going to start by kind of competitions for ideas in a different way. And there was issue of the copyright. If you would like to finance, I said that we always approach that we should have compensate from all those who already replicate our heritage. And this is a big issue, which is already, you know, we run after it.
I believe we have
talk
tackled
about
that
it,
issue.
but it could be a way of doing things to find a source of income, because those who already replicate Tutankhamun or replicate whatever, so
the Sphinx.
The Sphinx and whatever. So we have many approach, and we should keep our heritage related to our generation for the coming generations. Otherwise, you know, you have this kind of blah 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 that we built the pyramid from those which our neighbors. So if we would like to think in a real way, we have to admit this time to say that we are related to our heritage. And that's it, that this is going to be our effort for the coming year. And we hope that we'll be supported with other disciplines. So it's not architecture. We are going to have within our engineering faculty those who are working with structure, or we're working with energy. And we're going to use those who are working in media or working in tourism, or to support, to have a groups of young generations thinking in a different way.
Indeed. Yeah. Dr. Ahmed Rashed, the Professor of Architectural Engineering, Department Faculty of Engineering, Director of Sustainability and Future Studies. Thank you very much for your precious
all of you, and we hope that next time when we will be more and more solid, steps of this initiative.
Thank you very much, sir. And as you mentioned, now we're just talking theories, so perhaps it is a bit difficult for us to comprehend or grasp the whole idea, but when the program starts being implemented, perhaps we will have a better idea by then. Thank you very much for coming today, and have a very good morning to you. And ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of this edition of The Breakfast Show. You were in the company of Maestro Rabia and myself, Anna Hamlawi. We wish you a very good day.